Good morning, everyone. Let me begin with a simple question. When you think of oatmeal, what comes to mind? For many, it's a warm, comforting bowl that feels like a hug from the inside. Doctors recommend it, nutritionists praise it, and we ourselves reach for it thinking it's one of the healthiest choices we can make. And it is, but only if we prepare and enjoy it the right way. As we age, our bodies change. Muscles need more support, bones ask for better nourishment, and energy must be steady rather than spiking and crashing. Oatmeal can be a powerful ally. Yet many seniors unknowingly make small mistakes that turn this superfood into a sugar trap or a nutrient-light meal. When we think of oatmeal, many of us see it as a symbol of health. A warm bowl in the morning, easy to digest, often paired with fruit or honey. It is simple, familiar, and comforting. Yet comfort, if we are not mindful, can lead us into patterns that are less than helpful for our bodies as we age. The first key I want to share is this: balance matters. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But balance is often the most difficult lesson to practice. I once heard a story about a gardener who had a small tree in his backyard. He watered it every day, thinking that more water meant more growth. But after some time, the leaves began to yellow, and the roots grew weak. The tree did not flourish with more water. It began to drown. When the gardener adjusted the balance, giving the tree only the water it truly needed, the tree slowly returned to life. Our bodies are not so different. Oatmeal, though full of fiber and nutrients, is only helpful in the right portion. Many people fill a bowl that is too large, believing it's healthy, so more must be better. But when we eat too much, we place a quiet burden on the body, especially on the digestive system and the blood sugar balance. Instead of feeling light and nourished, we may feel heavy and sluggish, as though we are carrying the weight of the meal rather than the strength it should give. Balance does not only mean the size of the portion, it also means what we invite into the bowl with the oats. Often we add bananas, raisins, honey, or even brown sugar. On their own, each of these may seem harmless. Together, they can create a meal that quickly spikes blood sugar, leaving us tired not long after. For seniors, this roller coaster of energy can affect not just the body, but the mind. A sudden dip in blood sugar after a heavy oatmeal breakfast may bring on fatigue, dizziness, or even confusion. It reminds me of a saying from the East: too much sweetness will make even honey bitter. When we overfill our oatmeal with sweet toppings, we turn a nourishing meal into one that weakens instead of strengthens. The sweetness comforts the tongue for a moment, but it does not support the body for the day ahead. The true gift of oatmeal is its steady release of energy, its ability to keep us full, and its gentle care for our digestive system. But for that gift to reach us, we must practice moderation. A small bowl, perhaps half a cup of dry oats, prepared with water or milk, can be enough. Add a few walnuts or almonds for healthy fats, a sprinkle of cinnamon for flavor, and maybe a handful of berries. This is balance, not denying ourselves, but choosing carefully, so the meal supports us rather than drains us. There is wisdom in listening to how the body responds. After your next bowl of oatmeal, ask yourself, do I feel light and energized, or heavy and tired? Do I feel ready to move, or ready to rest? The body always whispers the truth, but we must be quiet enough to hear it. Now, let us look at the second key. Sugar is the silent saboteur. It is called silent because it rarely announces its presence loudly. Sugar does not knock at the door and say, "I am here to harm your health." Instead, it sneaks in gently, through the extra spoonful of honey, the drizzle of syrup, the flavored oatmeal packet that promises convenience. Before long, sugar becomes a guest that overstays its welcome, leaving behind fatigue, weight gain, and stress on the heart. There is a story of an elderly monk who once gave his students a cup of clear water. Into it, he stirred a spoonful of sugar. "Taste this," he said. The students smiled, saying, "It is sweet." Then the monk added a second spoonful, and then a third. After several spoonfuls, the student frowned. "It is too sweet now. I can no longer enjoy it." The monk replied, "In life, even good things, when added without measure, can turn from medicine into poison." For seniors, sugar in oatmeal is a particular danger. With age, the body often becomes less efficient at managing blood sugar. The pancreas works harder, insulin responses slow down, and the risk of diabetes or heart problems increases. A single bowl of oatmeal with sugar and sweet fruit can hold more sugar than a dessert. Yet because it is oatmeal, we tell ourselves it must be healthy. But health is not just about the food itself. It is about how the food interacts with our body at this stage of life. For someone in their 20s, a sugary oatmeal bowl may not cause harm. But for someone in their 60s, 70s, or beyond, the same meal can lead to sharp spikes and drops in blood sugar. These drops may weaken the legs, make walking less steady, and even affect memory. Let us remember this truth: the sweetness of life is not found in sugar, but in the strength to enjoy each day fully. We do not need to sweeten our oatmeal heavily to enjoy it. The natural flavor of oats, gently enhanced with spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, or cardamom, can bring warmth and comfort without harm. If sweetness is desired, A few fresh berries can add both flavor and antioxidants, offering healing rather than harm. In fact, the less sugar we use, the more we begin to taste the true richness of food. At first, the oats may seem plain, but after a few weeks of reducing sugar, the tongue awakens to subtle flavors it once overlooked. We discover that oats have a gentle sweetness of their own, and that fruits taste brighter when not buried under added sugar. There was an old man in a village who lived past 100. When asked his secret, he smiled and said, "I never ate more sugar than I needed." Life itself is sweet enough. His wisdom reminds us that the pleasures of food need not come from excess but from awareness. So as you prepare your oatmeal, consider this: each spoon of sugar is a choice between a momentary pleasure and a lasting strength, a choice between quick comfort and steady health. Ask yourself, will this sweetness help me rise today, or will it pull me down? Balance and moderation in sugar is not about denial. It is about respect. Respect for the body, respect for the years it has carried us, respect for the days still ahead. In the quiet of the morning when you sit before your bowl, remember the gardener, the monk, and the elder. Each reminds us, in their way, that too much, even of a good thing, can weaken rather than strengthen. Oatmeal has the power to nourish, but only when we honor it with balance and with mindfulness of sugar. The journey of health is not made in great leaps, but in small, consistent steps. A smaller portion today, less sugar tomorrow, a little more awareness each morning. These choices, like drops of water, shape the river of our well-being. And in that river we find the strength not only to live, but to live well. When we speak of health, it is easy to focus on what is visible, the foods we place in our bowls, the numbers on the scale, the vitamins listed on a package. But true nourishment goes beyond appearances. It is about the way food interacts with the body, the way it sustains energy, and the way it supports the life we wish to live. This brings us to another important truth. Oatmeal, though celebrated, should rarely be eaten alone. Imagine a fire burning in a hearth. The oats are like the wood. They can fuel the flame, but if the wood burns too quickly, the fire may rise high for a moment and then suddenly fade, leaving behind ashes and smoke. What the fire truly needs is not only wood, but something to keep the flame steady, something to help the warmth last longer. This is where protein enters the story. Too often, seniors eat a bowl of oatmeal with nothing more than water or milk. For the first hour, the body feels full, but then, like that fire burning too quickly, the energy begins to drop. Blood sugar rises sharply, then falls, leaving the body weaker than before. This is when legs feel heavy, concentration fades, and the urge to rest returns. Adding protein is like placing sturdy logs on the fire. It slows the burn, evens the flame, and keeps warmth steady. A handful of walnuts, a spoonful of chia seeds, or a dollop of Greek yogurt can change the way oatmeal nourishes. Suddenly, the energy lasts, muscles feel supported, and the mind remains clear. There is an old tale of a traveler who set out on a long journey with only bread in his bag. At first he was content, taking small bites as he walked, but soon his strength began to fail. Along the road he met a wise farmer who offered him a small piece of cheese. With that simple gift, his energy returned and he was able to complete his journey. The bread alone could not sustain him, but with the cheese, his body had what it needed. Our bodies too are travelers. Each day is a journey, and oatmeal alone is like the bread in the story, enough to begin, but not enough to endure. Protein becomes the companion that allows us to walk farther, steadier, and with more ease. Science has long shown that protein supports muscle strength, especially as we age. And muscle strength is not just about lifting weights. It is about standing up from a chair with ease, climbing stairs without fear, and keeping our balance when the ground feels uneven. A bowl of oats without protein may satisfy hunger, but it does not provide the foundation needed for these daily victories. A wise saying reminds us, do not build a house without strong pillars. In the same way, do not build your morning meal without the pillars of protein, for when the body has these supports, it does not waver easily. Now let us turn to the final key, the understanding that not all oats are created equal. It is easy to believe that one kind of oatmeal is the same as another. After all, oats, are they not? Yet the way they are prepared changes their effect on the body more than we may realize. Consider the difference between a mountain spring and a water fountain in the city. Both give water, yet one flows pure and steady, while the other is processed and treated, arriving quickly at our lips but losing something in the journey. So it is with oats. Steel-cut or old-fashioned oats are like the spring, close to their natural form, slowly digested, gently releasing energy. Instant oats, flavored packets, or heavily processed versions are like the fountain, quick, convenient, but stripped of the patience and richness that give lasting nourishment. I once knew a man in his 70s who began every morning with instant flavored oatmeal, believing it was his healthiest choice. He would pour the packet into a bowl, add hot water, and eat within minutes. Yet he complained of feeling tired only an hour later. When he switched to steel-cut oats, cooked slowly and paired with nuts, his mornings changed. The heaviness lifted, and he found himself walking farther each day. with more strength in his step. The difference was not the oats themselves, but their quality. Instant oats are broken down so much that the body digests them quickly, spiking blood sugar and leaving us empty too soon. Steel-cut oats, on the other hand, require more effort from the body to break down, which means their energy is released slowly and steadily, keeping blood sugar stable. There's a proverb that says, the fastest path is not always the best path. When it comes to oatmeal, the quick preparation of instant oats may save minutes, but it costs hours of steady energy later. Quality also speaks to the additions in packaged oats. Flavored versions often carry hidden sugars, artificial flavors, or preservatives. These may trick the tongue with sweetness but offer the body little in return. Choosing whole oats, adding your own spices, nuts or fruits, allows you to control not only the flavor, but also the health of your meal. Think of your morning oatmeal as an investment. Just as a wise person does not rush to spend on what is cheap and fleeting, we should not rush to fill our bodies with what is quick but shallow. Take a few extra minutes for oats that honor your health, and the return will be hours of vitality, steadiness, and clarity. I remember a teacher once saying, patience in preparation is the first step to strength in action. Cooking steel-cut oats may take longer, but as the aroma rises and the texture softens, you are not only preparing food, you are preparing the strength to move through your day with calm and power. So as we reflect on these truths, remember the fire that burns steady with the right fuel, the traveler who found strength with a small addition of protein, the spring that flows pure, and the wisdom that patience brings. Oatmeal, simple as it may seem, is not merely breakfast. It is a choice that shapes how your body carries you, how your mind stays sharp, and how your heart endures the day ahead. The next time you sit before your bowl, ask yourself, does this meal honor the journey of my body? Does it give me balance, strength, and steadiness? If the answer is yes, then you have not just eaten, you have nourished. As the ancient saying goes, small hinges swing big doors. Sometimes, just a small change in how you prepare your oatmeal can open the door to better energy.